Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds a virtual summit with his British counterpart Boris Johnson. Roadmap 2030 launched to transform India-UK bilateral ties. India and the UK identify 5 areas for cooperation which include increasing people-to-people contact, trade and economy, defence and security, climate action and health. Over 320,000 people recover from COVID-19 in the country in the last 24 hours. More than 357,000 fresh cases of COVID-19 registered in the country. Government appeals to all eligible employees of 18 years and above to get themselves vaccinated at the earliest. JEE Main May 2021 session postponed in view of COVID-19 pandemic. Bihar imposes a complete lockdown from tomorrow till 15th May to contain COVID-19 cases. Political activities on in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry for government formation. Centre gives permission to telecom service providers for conducting trials for use and applications of 5G technology. And BCCI suspends IPL 2021 for the season after 4 players test positive for COVID-19. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise, we appeal to our listeners to take all precautions and all those above 18 years of age to get vaccinated without any hesitation. The vaccination for persons aged between 18 and 44 has begun at designated facilities. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his British counterpart Boris Johnson had substantive discussions today on the entire gamut of bilateral ties and exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest during the India-UK virtual summit. Briefing media in virtual mode after the meeting, Joint Secretary Europe West Sandeep Chakravarti said the first big deliverable of the meeting was the launch of Roadmap 2030.
Both our leaders had substantive discussions on the entire gamut of our ties and exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. The strong complementarities and growing convergences between the 2 countries in all these areas were underscored. The first big deliverable of the summit was the launch of the Roadmap 2030. Last year, when the 2 Prime Ministers spoken on telephone, they had agreed to make this roadmap to transform India-UK ties, and today the 2 leaders launched the roadmap. The implementation of the roadmap will elevate the India-UK relationship into a comprehensive strategic partnership.
The roadmap lists a number of concrete, forward-looking and outcome-oriented activities that both sides have agreed to pursue in 5 key areas.
There are 5 areas which have been identified. One is, of course, increasing people-to-people contacts, trade and economy, defense and security, climate action, and health. Its implementation will be closely monitored through an annual strategic review meeting at the foreign ministers level, and this meeting will then report the progress to the 2 prime ministers. Another very important and I would say a big-ticket announcement of the virtual summit was the declaration of enhanced trade partnership. The two-way trade between India and United Kingdom in 2019-20 was of the order of $15.4 billion. Although it has been rising in the recent years, the figures do not reflect the true potential of trade between the world's 5th and 6th largest economies.
The Joint Secretary said Brexit has provided tremendous new opportunities for both countries to seize them and unlock the true potential. The 2 leaders announced their intent to negotiate a comprehensive and balanced FTA, including consideration of an interim trade agreement for delivering early gains. The ambition is to more than double the bilateral trade by 2030.
India and UK also agreed to substantially strengthen the defence and security engagement, including in the maritime domain, counter-terrorism and cyberspace. UK also recently come up with its integrated review on security, defence and foreign policy, which identifies India as a key partner. As part of the British tilt to Indo-Pacific, UK has announced deployment of the Carrier Strike Group in the Indo-Pacific region. India has agreed to conduct joint exercise with the CSG later this year and also launch new maritime dialogue. Opportunities for defence co-development and co-production were also discussed.
The two leaders also discussed the global pandemic situation and ongoing cooperation in the fight against it. Prime Minister Modi thanked Prime Minister Johnson for the prompt medical assistance provided by the UK in the wake of the severe second wave in India. UK was one of the first to respond, sending critical medical equipment, including oxygen concentrators, cylinders, ventilators, and oxygen plants. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said he had a very productive virtual summit with his UK counterpart Boris Johnson. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said an ambitious roadmap 2030 has been adopted for elevating India-UK ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership. He welcomed the launch of an enhanced trade partnership as a roadmap to a comprehensive FTA with a target to more than double the bilateral trade by 2030. Mr. Modi said they also discussed ongoing cooperation on the COVID-19 pandemic and reiterated their commitment to ambitious climate action to meet Paris goals in the run-up to COP26.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is on a 4-day visit to the UK, held a meeting with Home Secretary Preeti Patel in London today. They signed the Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement that would facilitate legal travel and encourage talent flows between the two countries. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said the living bridge between India and the UK will get stronger as a result. He said this is an important outcome for the India-UK Virtual Summit. The number of total active cases of COVID-19 in the country further swelled today to comprise nearly 17% of the total reported cases. The Health Ministry has informed that currently over 34,47,000 people are reported to be suffering from the viral pandemic and are either hospitalized or under home isolation. In the last 24 hours, the nation registered 3,57,229 new COVID cases. With this, the recovery rate has further slipped to stand at 81.91%.
Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh today appealed to all eligible government employees of 18 years and above to get themselves vaccinated at the earliest. A circular in this regard was already issued by the DOPT on the 22nd of April. Earlier, the minister had appealed to all eligible employees of 45 years and above to get themselves vaccinated. He also expressed satisfaction that the DOPT has organized regular camps for vaccination at North Block, and all officers above 18 are taking benefits of the same after registering on www.cowin.gov.in. Such government employees have also further been advised to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behavior even after vaccination, like frequent washing of hands, wearing a mask or face cover, and observing social distancing. India's vaccination drive against COVID-19 continues with added momentum and has crossed the cumulative tally of over 15 crore 89 lakh doses so far. In the world's largest vaccination program, the nation administered more than 17 lakh doses of COVID vaccine in the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry has informed that in a span of 108 days since the beginning of the vaccination drive, the country has so far successfully given the first dose of a vaccine to nearly 13 crore people. On the other hand, around 2 crore 90 lakh people have been fully vaccinated with both the required doses. In the third phase of India's vaccination drive, which began from the 1st of this month, everyone in the age group of 18 to 44 years is to be given COVID vaccine doses. Over 4 lakh doses have been administered so far in this drive.
The Union Government has provided over 16 crore 69 lakh vaccine doses free of cost to states and Union territories so far. Of this, the total consumption of doses, including wastages, is over 15 crore 94 lakh. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that more than 75 lakh vaccine doses are still available with the states and Union territories. The Railways is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states across the country. The Railways Ministry has said that the Railways has delivered 1,585 tons of liquid medical oxygen so far to various states across the country. 27 oxygen expresses have already completed their journey, and 6 more loaded oxygen expresses are on the run carrying 463 tons of oxygen.
The second shipment from Ireland carrying 2 oxygen generators, 548 oxygen concentrators, 365 ventilators and other medical equipment arrived today. India has expressed gratitude to its EU partner for the support which will help add to the country's oxygen capacities. Another IAF aircraft arrived in Chennai this evening from the UK carrying 450 oxygen cylinders. India said it values this support from the UK to fight the pandemic. Earlier this morning as well, an IAF aircraft carrying 450 oxygen cylinders arrived in Chennai.
The government has cautioned people regarding vaccine registration fraud. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau has urged beneficiaries not to click on any unverified link. It said fraudsters may send links or make phone calls impersonating government-reputed organization regarding vaccine registration. The CSIR Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology has developed possibly the first specific drug for COVID-19 treatment which contains therapeutic antibodies. CCMB Director Dr. Rakesh K. Mishra said the Drug Controller General of India, DGCI, has given its approval for human trials, Phase 1 and Phase 2 for the WinCov-19 and is expected to be tried next week in Delhi and Rajasthan.
We have tested in the culture, this is very effective. It neutralizes all the virus variants. We have tested in animals, there is no problem, it is very safe. So now DCGI, the Drug Controller General of India, has given approval for the human Phase 1, Phase 2 trial, which should begin. They have asked for a few locations and all for trials, so that should begin in 1-2 days next week certainly. I am very hopeful that those trials will be successful.
Developed by the CCMB University of Hyderabad and Vins Bio Product Limited combined, the WinCov-19 is a collection of antibodies from horses after they got injected inactivated coronavirus.
Looking forward to the trial results and hopefully it will be some relief to people. So it will be given to people who go to hospital and they are sick. At the moment we have chosen a hospital in Delhi. We are considering among them the Vedanta Hospital, another hospital in Rajasthan in Bikaner.
The News Services Division of All India Radio and its daily program Spotlight will broadcast an interview with Dr. Rakesh Mishra, Director CSIR Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology on latest developments in management of COVID-19 in India. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Suryakant, KGMC, Lucknow will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. Repeat, 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-233-14444. and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR.
The Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, is setting up 5 medical oxygen plants within the first week of this month in and around Delhi. These are to be installed at the AIIMS Trauma Centre, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, Safdarjung Hospital, Lady Hardinge Medical College, and one at AIIMS Jhajjar in Haryana. As per schedule, 2 of these plants reached Delhi today and are being installed at AIIMS and RML hospitals. In order to tackle the surge in COVID-19 cases and subsequent requirement of oxygen, the DRDO will set up 500 medical oxygen plants across the country within 3 months under the PM CARES Fund.
The Bihar government has imposed a complete lockdown from tomorrow till the 15th of May due to the surge in COVID-19 cases in the state. In a tweet, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said after discussion with ministers and officials yesterday, it was decided to implement the lockdown in Bihar till the 15th of May. Vaccination centres, banks and essential services will remain functional during the lockdown. As per guidelines, government offices and public corporations shall remain closed. All educational institutions, private and commercial establishments will also remain closed. Movement of public transport except rail, aeroplane has been stopped. Transport of emergency services have been allowed.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds virtual summit with his British counterpart Boris Johnson. Roadmap 2030 launched to transform India-UK bilateral ties. India and UK identify 5 areas for cooperation, which include increasing people-to-people contact, trade and economy, defence and security, climate action and health. Over 320,000 people recover from COVID-19 in the country in last 24 hours. More than 357,000 fresh cases of COVID-19 registered in the country. Government appeals to all eligible employees of 18 years and above to get themselves vaccinated at the earliest. JEE main May 2021 session postponed in view of COVID-19 pandemic. Bihar imposes a complete lockdown from tomorrow till 15th of May to contain COVID-19 cases. Political activities on in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry for government formation. Centre gives permission to telecom service providers for conducting trials for use and applications of 5G technology. And BCCI suspends IPL 2021 for the season after 4 players test positive for COVID-19. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. The government has postponed the JEE main May 2021 session in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The session was scheduled to be held at the end of this month. The April session has already been postponed. In a tweet, Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said the decision has been taken keeping in mind the present situation of COVID-19 and students' safety. He urged the students to keep visiting the official website of NTA for further updates. In the Union Territory of Puducherry, the BJP will be a part of the coalition government, according to Puducherry BJP in charge Nirmal Kumar Surana. This is the first time the BJP will be part of the government. A report.
Talking to the media persons, Puducherry BJP in charge Nirmal Kumar Surana said that the BJP registered a phenomenal growth in this election compared to the 2016 election. Meanwhile, the NR Congress chief N. Rangasamy called on the Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan and staked his claim to form the government. The LG said that the swearing-in ceremony will be held on a date decided by them. The 3-time Chief Minister Rangasamy returns to power for the 4th time to lead the NDA government. In the NDA alliance, the All India NR Congress bagged 10 seats while BJP won 6. Chandram Mohan, AR News, Puducherry.
The BJP today came down heavily on the TMC following reports of post-poll violence in West Bengal. BJP Party National President Jagat Prakash Nadda is on a 2-day visit to the state in view of widespread violence that broke out in the state after election results. It is to be noted that West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankhar yesterday asked for a report on post-poll violence in the state and the action taken by the government. More from our Kolkata correspondent.
The BJP has claimed that the violence in West Bengal after the release of West Bengal Assembly election results is a matter of grave concern. Jagat Prakash Nadda, the party's All India President, said such incidents took place during the partition. However, such intolerance has not been seen in independent India since the results of the vote were announced.
बंगाल के चुनाव के नतीजों के बाद जो घटनाएं देखने को और सुनने को मिली हैं, वो हमें चिंता में डालती हैं, क्योंकि शायद ऐसी घटनाएं भारत के विभाजन के समय मैंने सुना था, लेकिन उस आजाद भारत में अब चुनाव के नतीजों के पश्चात इतनी इंटॉलरेंस हमने आज दिन तक नहीं देखा है.
Mr. Nadda said he had personally come to West Bengal to see the affected workers. He made it clear that the entire party would stand by them and fight this violence democratically. He arrived in Kolkata this afternoon and visited the homes of dead and affected party workers in Sonarpur and Nalendrapur and met their families. Priyanka for All India Radio, Kolkata.
The National Human Rights Commission has taken cognizance of post-poll violence in West Bengal and ordered an investigation. Citing various media reports in this regard, the Commission said the political workers allegedly clashed with each other, party offices were torched down, some homes were ransacked and also looted. The NHRC considered the violence as a fit case of alleged violation of the right to life of the innocent citizens and ordered its DIG investigation to constitute a team to conduct an on-the-spot fact-finding investigation and submitted a report within 2 weeks.
Amid demand for recounting by the TMC in Nondigram, the Election Commission has clarified that the returning officer is the final authority in the matter, who has rejected the request. The Commission said after the counting in this assembly, the election agent of TMC Chief Mamata Banerjee, who was fighting from this seat, had requested for a recount, which was rejected by the RO on the basis of material facts, and the result was declared. TMC leader Mamata Banerjee will be sworn in as the Chief Minister of West Bengal for the third time tomorrow after her party's victory in the just concluded assembly elections. Due to the corona situation, the list of guests invited to the swearing-in ceremony at the Raj Bhavan has also been kept as short as possible. Some of the top leaders of the Trinamool Congress are expected to be present at the event.
DMK chief M.K. Stalin is all set to become the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu after being elected as the party's legislative leader at Chennai. The unanimous decision to this effect was taken at the newly elected legislative members' meeting of the DMK at the party's headquarters. He'll stake claim to form the government tonight or tomorrow. More from our Chennai correspondent.
DMK will form the new government on the 7th of this month after a gap of 10 years. 125 DMK MLAs along with 8 other smaller party MLAs who contested in the DMK symbol elected MK Stalin as the legislative party leader. Mr. Stalin took over the reins of the party after the demise of his father and DMK patriarch Karunanidhi in 2018 and steered the party to victory in 2019 general elections and also in the 16th assembly elections. DMK-led Democratic Progressive Alliance had won 159 seats along with Congress, MDMK, VCK, IUML, CPI and CPM in its fold. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Discussions and negotiations for the formation of a new government in Kerala are actively gearing up in the left front. The CPIM State Secretariat meeting was convened today to discuss the assigning of ministerial berths to the prospective leaders. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and CPIM State Secretary A. Vijay Raghavan and Kodiyari Balakrishnan spearheaded the discussions. The CPIM Politburo meeting, scheduled to be held tomorrow, is expected to finalize on the major decisions and chart out a clear picture of the second Pinarayi cabinet.
The government has given permissions to telecom service providers for conducting trials for use and applications of 5G technology. The applicants include Bharti Airtel Limited, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited, Vodafone Idea Limited and MTNL. These telecom service providers, TSP, have tied up with original equipment manufacturers and technology providers which are Ericsson, Nokia, Samsung and C-Dot. In addition, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited will also be conducting trials using its own indigenous technology. The Communication Ministry said at present the duration of the trials is for a period of 6 months. This includes a time period of 2 months for procurement and setting up of the equipment. The permission letters specify that each TSP will have to conduct trials in rural and semi-urban settings, also in addition to urban settings, so that the benefit of 5G technology proliferates across the country. The government today said that 28 states and union territories have started lifting food grains from the Food Corporation of India depots for free distribution of food grains to the poor under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Last month, the centre had decided to provide free food grains to nearly 80 crore beneficiaries covered under National Food Security Act (NFSA) in the months of May and June. Under this scheme, 5 kg per person per month food grains will be provided to the NFSA beneficiaries belonging to both Antyodaya Anna Yojana and Priority Householders categories.
At the domestic stock markets, key indices slid in the last hour of trade to post nearly 1% fall each, and the rupee appreciated slightly against the US dollar. In the international markets, Brent crude prices rise sharply towards $89 a barrel. A report from the Business World.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange slipped 465 points or 1% to close at 48,254. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange slid 138 points or 0.9% to 14,497. In the global equity markets, Asia Pacific ended mixed today. So Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index climbed 0.7%. South Korea's Kospi Index rose 0.6%, but Singapore's Straits Times Index fell 0.2%. Back home, gold gained 97 rupees to 46,758 rupees per 10 grams at Delhi's bullion market. Silver jumped 1,282 rupees to 70,270 rupees per kilo. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News, All India Radio.
Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal has said that strict enforcement of curfew regulations and guidelines is the key to break the transmission chain of virus and to reduce COVID-19 cases in Delhi. Mr. Baijal has asked the Delhi Police Commissioner and Divisional Commissioner to take all-out measures for implementation of the curfew order in letter and spirit.
In Assam, the Secondary Education Board of Assam SEBA has postponed matric and high madrasa examination in the state. Chairman of the SEBA, Ramesh Chandra Jain, told AIR that the decision was taken due to the COVID situation. He said the new date would be declared later after monitoring the situation. The current season of the Indian Premier League has been suspended due to emergence of multiple cases of COVID-19 among the players. The Indian Premier League Governing Council and Board of Control for Cricket in India, in an emergency meeting, has unanimously decided to postpone the IPL 2021 season with immediate effect. In a statement, Indian Premier League has said the BCCI does not want to compromise on the safety of the players, support staff and other participants involved in organising the IPL. It said this decision was taken keeping the safety, health and well-being of all the stakeholders in mind. The ongoing season of IPL was drawing criticism from various corners due to emergence of the second wave of COVID-19 in the country.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. The temperature will hover between 25 and 40 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 35 degrees. Chennai is expected to have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 27 and 36 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have rain or thunder showers with strong gusty winds. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 34 degrees. Srinagar will have a thunderstorm with rain. Temperature will hover between 12 and 22 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 37. Leh is expected to have a partly cloudy sky, while the minimum and maximum temperature will be between 4 and 20 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 13 and 35 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad is also likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 17 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Dehradun will witness thunderstorm with rain. The minimum temperature will be 21 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Chandigarh will have a partly cloudy sky with the temperature likely to hover between 27 and 37 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad is likely to have rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. Minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Ahmedabad will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 20 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 40 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds virtual summit with his British counterpart Boris Johnson. Roadmap 2030 launched to transform India-UK bilateral ties. India and the UK identify 5 areas for cooperation, which include increasing people-to-people contact, trade and economy, defence and security, climate action and health. Over 3,20,000 people recover from COVID-19 in the country in the last 24 hours. More than 3,57,000 fresh cases of COVID-19 registered in the country. Government appeals to all eligible employees of 18 years and above to get themselves vaccinated at the earliest. JEE Main May 2021 session postponed in view of COVID-19 pandemic. Bihar imposes a complete lockdown from tomorrow till 15th May to contain COVID-19 cases. Political activities on in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry for government formation. Centre gives permission to telecom service providers for conducting trials for use and applications of 5G technology. And BCCI suspends IPL 2021 for the season after 4 players test positive for COVID-19. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.